Recently, the U.S. President Donald Trump announced plans to impose tariffs on vehicle imports by April 2, 2025. This means that in the next 6 weeks, countries that export vehicles to the U.S. will face higher taxes on their products. And here's the thing. While the president shared his intentions during the announcement on Friday, there remains uncertainty about whether these tariffs will apply to all auto imports or target specific categories. So the question is, what does this mean for the U.S. auto industry and the economy as a whole? And how the world's leading auto exporters, such as Germany, Japan, and South Korea, will respond to this decision? Let's understand the matter in detail. So, it all started back on January 20th, when Donald Trump took office again as President of the United States. From the outset, Trump has made it clear that trade policies would be a focal point of his administration. Allies and adversaries alike have found themselves under scrutiny as Trump issued threats of new duties across various sectors, vehicles now being the latest target. Tariffs, according to Trump, are not just a way to generate government revenue. Instead, they act as a tool to address long-standing trade imbalances and push other nations to respond to U.S. concerns. At this point, the intent might seem pretty straightforward, right? Well, that's true. However, things take a turn when we look at the expert analysis. Many experts argue that Americans themselves often bear the brunt of these tariffs, not foreign exporters. But how? This is because increased taxes on imports often lead to higher prices for consumers. And when these imported vehicles come with inflated costs, who truly end up paying the price? This question has stirred debates among economists and industry leaders. Asked recently when these looming auto tariffs might come into play, Trump vaguely suggested maybe around April. Du Béonger. And yet, details remain scarce. What categories of vehicles will be affected? Will certain countries get exemptions, or will it be an across-the-board hike? To answer these questions, let's first look at how things are currently working. As of making this video, about 50% of the cars sold in the United States are actually made right within the country. That's right, half of all the vehicles on those bustling highways and serene suburban streets are built on American soil. But what about the other half? Here's where things get really interesting. Around half of the cars imported into the U.S. come from its closest neighbors, Mexico and Canada. Thanks to the close trade relationships and agreements, such as the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA, which replaced NAFTA, these two countries play a massive role in supplying vehicles to American consumers. But hold on, the story doesn't end there. The rest of the imported cars are coming from some of the biggest names in the automotive world. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and Germany lead the charge, with sleek, cutting-edge designs and engineering marvels. Meanwhile, nations such as Britain, Italy, and Sweden might not contribute as much in volume, but they sure add a hint of luxury and unique craftsmanship with their brands. So, what do the automakers and industry insiders have to say about these tariffs? Well, many are worried. Ford CEO Jim Farley has raised significant concerns regarding a proposed 25% tariff on vehicles imported from Mexico and Canada. Farley argued that such a tariff would put U.S.-based companies at a distinct disadvantage, especially those that have built a deeply interconnected supply chain across North America. This interconnectedness is largely a result of trade agreements like the USMCA, which was negotiated during the first Trump administration to replace NAFTA. These trade agreements have fostered a collaborative environment for manufacturing and supply, allowing companies to optimize production costs and streamline operations across borders. However, imposing a steep tariff would disrupt these well-established networks, potentially increasing costs for American automakers and driving up prices for consumers. Sounds like there are quite a few downsides, doesn't it? Well, that's true, but here's a good news for you. More recently, on February 3, the White House announced a temporary suspension of the proposed 25% tariffs for 30 days. This decision came following notable steps taken by Canada and Mexico to bolster border security and address fentanyl policies. I agree that this move offers a brief sigh of relief for automakers and industry leaders, but it doesn't signal the end of the road for trade tensions. The pause provides a critical window for negotiations, but uncertainty still looms large. What's creating even more waves is the administration's broader approach to tariffs. On March 12th, New levies on all steel and aluminum imports are set to take effect, demonstrating the president's firm stance on reshaping trade dynamics. Beyond that, he's floated the possibility of imposing tariffs on other key industries, including semiconductors, oil, and gas. The auto sector, in particular, stands at a crossroads as it prepares for potential future levies, with stakeholders keeping a close eye on policy developments. Now I have shocking news. Not again. So last Thursday, Trump showed up once again, looking to shake up the global trade stage with a bold announcement about reciprocal tariffs. This new plan could increase trade conflicts by targeting all U.S. trading partners individually, tailoring tariffs on a country-by-country basis. The move marks another step in Trump's aggressive push to revamp international trade relationships. The American Automotive Policy Council, or AAPC, which represents Detroit's automotive giants, General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, quickly voiced their concerns about the potential fallout. They urged Trump to drop proposed tariffs on trade partners like Mexico and Canada, crucial allies under the USMCA. Matt Blunt, AAPC president, expressed mixed feelings about the announcement. While supporting the broader effort to address global trade challenges, including both tariff and non-tariff barriers, he emphasized that vehicles and auto parts compliant with USMCA terms should remain exempt from additional tariffs. This reflects the auto industry's fear that such sweeping measures could disrupt carefully balanced supply chains vital to manufacturing and profitability. Yet, uncertainty lingers. The AAPC did not provide further comments by Friday, leaving many to wonder how the administration will address their concerns, or if it will at all. Meanwhile, companies and policymakers brace for the potential ripple effects of these reciprocal tariffs, as the stakes in the global trade game continue to climb. This leaves us with only one option: wait and watch. On April 2nd, the administration will make its next move. Will the tariffs be imposed? Will they be suspended again? Only time will tell. So this was everything about Trump's tariffs that we could cover in this video. As you can see, the topic is complicated and constantly evolving. We still have a few weeks before we have a clearer picture of how these tariffs will play out, so make sure to stay tuned for more updates. Let us know in the comments what you think about Trump's tariff policies and their potential impact on the automotive industry. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up to show us some support. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be bringing you the latest updates on the automotive industry and much more. Goodbye.